Application Example 10. Relay protection and fine positioning reversing pause, turning dead time, etc. In this module, we deal with extended configuration options. Our goals are to set the optimal protection function for the relays when reversing the direction of travel, and also to consider the correct known drive characteristics for reversing the direction of travel. Let's go to the actuator parameters. The extended configuration can be found on the blinds page. If you release it, you will see 4 timers. The first one, the reverse pause time, defines the waiting time if the motor is to reverse out of motion. The default value is 1 second. Experience shows that this is the value proven to be a safe lower limit above which, when reversing motors, the much-feared destructive arcs at the relay contacts no longer occur. In the meantime, the manufacturers have also incorporated corresponding reversing pauses in their drives. If this is the case, the value can be reduced to as low as 200 milliseconds. However, the standard value of 1 second should not be changed unless necessary, as it represents a safety limit. If the actual dead time is less, the parameterized dead time applies. If it is greater, the dead time set on the device applies. The other 3 timing parameters are self-explanatory in terms of their designation. The slip compensation time, the motor startup delay, and the runout delay time. Thanks to its high-resolution timers in the millisecond range, the actuator is capable of high-precision positioning. With most blind motors, all 3 values are 0, so there are usually no problems. However, these 3 parameters must be set precisely if it turns out that blinds, for example during operation via 8-bit positioning telegrams, move systematically in a certain direction. This applies even though they are always moved between the same endpoints, so the position must always remain the same. If the actuator is used for facade automation via 8-bit telegrams from a weather station, it must position the drive with a high degree of precision. This can be achieved by adjusting these parameters. The experimental determination of these delay values, however, is complicated, so it'd be easier to get this data from the drive manufacturer. However, there are exceptions in which no suitable parameterization can be determined. Blind drives that have their own intelligence. Some motors have travel time dependent speeds. This means that the motor initially starts at a low speed. After a certain time, it switches to a higher speed, and when it reaches the end of its travel distance, it brakes again. In order to simulate such a behavior through the parameters of the actuator, we would need the exact motor profile, and of course, the appropriate parameters. However, the SSA 543 is not designed for this. Therefore, the principle that should apply to blinds and shutter motors is, the simpler, the better. This brings us to the end of this learning module. You now know the background for the reverse pause time, know how to optimize the precise positioning of the sun protection devices, and when this is not possible. For further information, visit our other web-based trainings at the address below. And hopefully we'll see you again on the Siemens Gamma Instabus e-learning program.